Yes guys, what is happening? Welcome back to Cop Noise TV, where we are here for a big match preview, and this does feel like a big match now. This is the biggest game of the season for Liverpool up to this point. PSG, second leg of the Champions League, quarter-final at Anfield. We're 2-0 down from what was a lacklustre. I wouldn't say there was no effort involved. It was a poor performance in over in Paris last week. And normally what I do in these build-up shows, we would look at the opposition review, look at Liverpool, go through the injuries, starting lineups. We'll do something a little bit different with this one because look, there's no point in me going through the opposition review again. We know what PSG are. We saw that firsthand last week. They are world class operators at playing football. Their quality. Their manager is one that I am particularly envious of. I would love if Arne Slot can't turn this ship around at Liverpool, if his fate ultimately means that he's no longer the manager at Liverpool in the coming weeks, months, or next season, that will be what it'll be. If Liverpool have a slight chance at all of maybe getting Luis Enrique out of Paris and into Merseyside, oh my gosh, they need to do everything in their powers that they can to try and get that head coach, because for me, he is the one. I know everyone goes on about Xavi Alonso, Gerrard. Honestly, Gerrard's so far away from that dugout for me. He's nowhere, he shouldn't be anywhere near that in my opinion. Xavi Alonso, I'll be honest, I'm not sold on it. I don't believe that the style of football will be too much different to what Liverpool want to play with Arne Slot. And what I mean by that is like last season we saw the football that Arne Slot likes to play. Very slow build-up, you know, not as slow as it has been this season. Because my gosh, sometimes this season it's put you to sleep football. I think we can all agree. But yeah, Alonso, don't know about that. But anyway, Luis Enrique, Paris Saint-Germain. Just world class all over the field. They're unbelievable. Their fullbacks are ridiculous. Hakimi and Gomez, I think it is. They are literally just. They remind me of prime Andy Robertson. Not so much Trent Alexander-Arnold, because Trent never had that kind of pace to get up and down for 90 minutes. Whereas Andy Robertson was just literally like the Flying Scotsman, if you pardon the pun. But there's that. Remember the interview with Mourinho where he talks about we play 200-mile-an-hour football. He's still tired from watching Andy Robertson run up and down the wing, and that's what their fullbacks are like. Literally, just so comfortable on the ball. We saw them. I think it was Gomez last week. You know, the goalkeeper plays a diagonal out to him, and he just chest passed the ball and got PSG on the break, and it was just like, oh, you're taking the piss now. And I think that was at 1-0 or maybe 0-0. The wingers, Kvaratskhelia and Doué, they're just unbelievably talented footballers. They keep the width so much. I remember seeing a couple of kind of wide camera angles of some of their build-up last week, and you're talking like old school wingers getting chalk on your boots. But then 5 minutes later, they might be in the striker's position and Dembele's pulled out wide. Kvaratskhelia's then gone to the right. He's gone into the middle. The fluidity of what they play is unbelievable, and I sound like I'm absolutely kind of cooing over PSG. I sound like Arne Slot from the last 12 months, and I sort of am, because they're just a great outfit, and Liverpool are going to have it all to do if we have any chance of getting through this tie. Personally, when looking at Liverpool, it's an interesting one, because what does Slot do? He obviously changed the formation in Paris. He went to 3 centre-backs, wing-backs, a back 3 or a back 5, however you want to call it. And what he was asking one of the centre-halves to do, whether it was Gomez, Van Dijk or Konate, basically, they followed Dembele or Kvaratskhelia, whoever was playing in the middle, they followed them into the midfield. If they dropped deep, they followed them in. And you could tell that all three, maybe not so much Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez seemed to kind of know what he was doing, but when it comes to Virgil and Konate, they looked all over the place when doing this. They looked like they didn't have, especially in that first half, they looked like they didn't have a clue whether to go, whether to sit, whether to go in tight, whether to drop off. They looked absolutely clueless in that system, and it'd be an interesting one whether the manager goes back with that system. And I don't think he will. I think Arne Slot, well, Liverpool have to go for this game. There's no two ways about it. I can't see, or I wouldn't like to see, a game where Liverpool sit off for 60 minutes, try and keep PSG out, and then try and force their attacks in the last kind of second half or last half an hour, if you like. I don't think that's a wise game plan. I think Liverpool have to come out of the blocks quick. I think similar to how they played against Real Madrid earlier in the competition, similar to how they played against Galatasaray earlier in the competition, where we have to start strong, we have to start on the front foot, and we have to exert some sort of pressure on them. We can't just let them have the ball, build up patterns of play, build up confidence, build up rhythm. We can't. We're going to have to be aggressive in the tackle, snapping on their heels, giving away little free kicks here, there and everywhere, breaking up the play and trying to oppose our dominance, our game, if you like, onto them. And look, Anfield will be up for this one. Of course we will. It's European night, under the lights, all that kind of stuff, you know, all the cliches and things like that. We'll have the flags and the banners back because it's the game that's closest to the anniversary of Hillsborough, so another reason for the fans to kind of pour that extra few percent out, if you like. I can't say that I'm confident going to this game. I'm very much, I won't say on the fence. I just don't see I've not seen many performances from Liverpool this season that kind of makes me think that we can overturn a team like PSG. And look, that's not to say that we can't do it, because we absolutely can. And I, for one, will be going to Anfield as optimistic as ever, you know, believing that there's a chance, because there is a chance. We've seen it before many times with Liverpool at European nights. We have the power, we have the quality, we have the magic, if you like, to turn the tide around. However, this Liverpool team, does it have that? It's not shown it a lot this season. It's shown in recent weeks especially how kind of mentally weak some of the players are. When facing adversity, they kind of crumble rather than standing strong and being accounted for. So this is going to be a really, really tough night. But look, imagine a world, let me paint a picture here for you. Imagine a world where, similar to the Barcelona game, where we're 3-0 down and Jordan Henderson slaloms through, and Divock Origi ends up getting a little tap in. I think it's, you know, within the first 10-15 minutes, something like that. Imagine a world where Liverpool do that, where we can get a goal, we can get 1-0 up within the first 20 minutes. Imagine the atmosphere inside that ground if that happens. Honestly, it will be unbelievable. It will be electric, and stranger things have happened. So who knows? Now, let's have a look at what I think Arne Slot will do for a starting 11. Because this is going to be an interesting one. As I say, I personally think Arne Slot has seen enough evidence from last week to suggest that playing 3 centre-backs and wing-backs is not the way forward against this team. Liverpool, it became damage limitation in Paris. It was like, look, let's stop them from scoring rather than, let us score and we'll get them back to Anfield. We're back at Anfield now. The time is now, Arne Slot, so you are going to have to set this team out to go and get a result against these guys. So I think we go back to a back four. So Mamadashvili is obviously going to play in goals. Alisson Becker is still injured. Right back, I am suggesting Jeremy Frimpong plays. I think we need pace. Obviously, their wingers are very, very quick, very skillful, and Jeremy Frimpong has pace, has that recovery pace. You know, if he does get caught out, normally, positionally, he's quite good, to be fair. I don't mind Frimpong in that position, so Frimpong will play for me. It's going to be Ibu Konate and Virgil van Dijk. And this is an interesting one for me because Ibu Konate's form has gone... It's decreased. Let's just say that he looked very lost in Paris. That his body language, his facial expressions didn't give me a sense of confidence, a sense of belief that he knew what he was doing, that he was confident that he could get the better of his opponents. And listen, Ibu Konate is a fucking beast. He's a big dude, and I want him to just show me something. Show me that, you know, he's up for this fight. And I think it was that the weekend when Salah scored, he was one of the first to kind of come running up to him to celebrate with him. And obviously it was at the Anfield Road, and he was kind of giving it all that to crowd. And I'm like, all right, okay, show me some of that on Tuesday night against PSG, Ibu. And I don't think Joe Gomez will play at centre-back. I don't think the manager would do that. So I think Konate will play, but I need a little bit more from him. Same as with Virgil, really. A time for Virgil. You know, he's come under a little bit of criticism recently, whether it's a case of his form's dipped or whether he's carrying others around him. I'll let you be the judge of that. But, yeah, he's another one that, for me, captain needs to stand up on Tuesday and, you know, rally the troops. Left back, I think Kirkers will come back in. I think the fact that Andy Robertson played at the weekend, obviously Kirkers had the afternoon off, so he will come back in. Absolutely fine. I don't really care whether it's a 6 or a 26 on that team sheet. I think both players are more than capable of operating exactly how we need to in this system now. No problems for me whether it's Kirkers or Robbo, but I think it will be Kirkers. Midfield, we've got options, we've got numbers in midfield, and I think Ryan Gravenberch will play, and Dominic Szoboszlai, and I also think Florian Wirtz will play in the middle. I do, and I think the fact that Wirtz came back into the middle against Fulham at the weekend, he operated so much better. He picked up nice little pockets. You know, he moves the ball sideways into both wingers. He's got the kind of like little slide roll pass, if you like, down the side to Ekitike. It could be a game changer, could Florian Wirtz. Is his form where it needs to be at the moment? Absolutely not. But listen, to get Florian Wirtz in his best form, he needs to play in his best position, and that for me is in the centre of the pitch. Number 10, number 8, free roll. Florian, you just do what you need to do. Now, up top, I think Mo Salah will play. I think it's not a coincidence I've started from the right rather than left, because I normally go from left. But I think Mo Salah will start this one. I think the fact that he scored at the weekend, Mo Salah on his day is a big game player. He scores in big games. After he got his goal at the weekend, he just seemed to have an extra kind of a yard or two of pace. He seemed to have a bit more swagger about him, a bit more Salah about him, if you like, over recent years. And you could see that goal did him a world of good. So for me, if you've got a confident Mo Salah, he has to play this game. Hugo Ekitike will play up top, I think. He obviously didn't play at the weekend. And on the left, I think after the weekend, you have to start YNWA. I believe that this kid has to be the first name on this team sheet. We have to score goals. We have to be direct. We have to get on the front foot. And he does all that. And he will give Hakimi something different to think about rather than a Florian Wirtz who he knows he's not going to run him down the line. He's not going to try to take him on. Florian Wirtz is going to get the ball. He's probably going to come back inside, and you know, Florian Wirtz will try and mix his game up with fancy movement rather than kind of pace and trickery. Cody Gakpo on the left, same sort of thing. He's not going to really run him down the line because Hakimi's got the pace to cover that. He's going to come inside, maybe get a shot away, play a square ball, try and get a crossing. So I think if YNWA starts this game, it'll give Hakimi something to think about, and maybe force him to focus a little bit more on his defensive duties than going forward, because we all know how good Hakimi is in the final third. So YNWA has to start this game for me. And listen, I I don't think there's a Liverpool fan out there that will disagree. But listen, if there is and you're watching, let me know in the comments what you would do for a starting 11. That is what I think Arne Slot will do. Let me know what you think Arne Slot will do. And now, drum roll please. Score prediction time. Wow. Fuck it. Let's go. Let's go for a Liverpool. Let's go for a 3-1. And we take them to extra time, penalties, and we get our revenge on pens after getting knocked out on pens last season. Yes, that is very out there prediction, but that's my prediction. Let me know in the comments, guys, what yours will be, and don't forget, if you haven't done already, please make sure you get over to the homepage and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in a bit.